Hello and welcome to CruiseAway. It's good to see you again. Now, we have been crafting the most incredible cruise and stay packages for Aussies for over 25 years now. So we really are your first port of call when you're looking for big adventures. Now, in this show, we have one of those mighty adventures, taking in a half-world cruise from right on our doorstep, and ending the experience by not only visiting but exploring two royal palaces in London as part of the holiday. Now, we're talking 60 incredible nights on this adventure, and don't worry, we have some time to A, budget for it, and B, to get it in the diary, as we're talking June of next year. We have a low deposit available and an incredible offer to make you. Now, of course, if you'd like to do the full world cruise, the Crown Princess leaves Sydney on the 4th of June next year and sails for 114 nights and comes back on the 26th of September into Sydney. And if that interests you, call our team toll-free right now and we'll make you an unbeatable offer. In this Dream Away package, though, we're talking the first 56 nights of her world cruise from Sydney through Mauritius, South Africa, the Canary Islands, Mediterranean and the British Isles before we leave her at the iconic White Cliffs of Dover in the UK. Now let's go and meet the Crown Princess, and remember, this 56 nights of cruising also includes Princess Plus, so you'll have priority boarding, room service, your daily service charges, drinks, extra dining and so much more to enjoy on board as part of your price. And the Crown Princess is a beautiful ship as well. Kind of in the cruising world these days, I would say a medium-sized ship. She's around about 3,000 passengers. Anyone that's cruised with Princess before knows that she has essential ingredients, things that are on board a Princess cruise that are on all of her ships. So fabulous Italian in Sabatinis, you saw the steaks in Crown Grill there. The experiences that they do as well, things like movies under the stars up on the top deck where you watch a big movie on a lounger on the top deck on the big screen. It's an amazing experience. It's a lovely thing to do. Now for dining, well, you've just got so many different choices. I mean, you can go for buffet dining whenever you want to. If you just can't make your mind up, the buffet is always there for you. Of course, Princess famed for its pizza, and then for your main restaurants, oh my word, there are so many different choices. Some of the casual dining you've got included as part of your package as well, and then there are extra specialty dinings if you want to treat yourself in some of those restaurants. This is a nice place to be, the Sanctuary. It's where you book yourself a slot, you and the other half just go and escape and read a book, relax, be served drinks. It's an incredible place to be. If you're taking the family, then they're going to love it. I mean, maybe you've got different generations of the same family going on a cruise like this. I mean, it's half a world cruise. Maybe there are friends that you holiday with. This is such a lovely way to do a holiday. One, you get to see the world. Two, there are plenty of sea days, so you get to actually enjoy what's going on board as well. There are some nice chunks of sea days on this crossing for you. But also, if you've got different interests, you can all indulge in those interests as well. You know, if you like going for, something like the live game shows there, brilliant. If you're a bit more sporty, you can indulge that. If you like to just relax and chill out, there's plenty of spaces to do that as well. We'll come back and look at the ship a little bit more later on and have a bit of a deeper dive. But let's start our 56-night half-world cruise then. Out of Sydney, first couple of days at sea to Adelaide. You can stay close to home first, chance to taste some of the amazing wines here maybe. Take a look at some new opal jewellery possibly in this part of the world, very nice indeed. 3 days at sea and we're off to Fremantle in Perth, of course. Take a little trip up the Swan River here, or maybe take the local hop-on hop-off tour bus and just go and see what Perth has to offer. Fabulous zoo there as well, of course. Then we take 7 days across the Indian Ocean to Port Louis in Mauritius, a wonderful peaceful seaside setting, laid back Mauritius. Fort Adelaide is here for breathtaking views over Port Louis itself, and there are lots of things to do. 5 days at sea and we're heading southwest to South Africa. for our overnight in Cape Town first, so you get 2 full days here to explore and experience. And it's great being here on an overnight, because if you're going on a safari here in this region, of course, last thing at night, first thing in the morning are the best times to safari. A day at sea, and we're heading to Namibia next in Walvis Bay. Dolphin and whale watching are a big thing here. Take a lovely safari, visit the Long Beach Leisure Park for thousands of resident flamingos here. 7 days at sea, and then we're in Mindelo in the Cape Verde Islands to the west of Africa, right in the Atlantic there. Very picturesque and colourful. Lots of music going on here, lots of seafood and wonderful markets to wander around. Couple of days at sea, and then we're in the Canary Islands, starting in Gran Canaria in Las Palmas. You can enjoy a tour here around the volcanic landscape, or head shopping in the port city itself. It's very nice indeed. A day at sea, and then we're off to Morocco, to Casablanca, largest city in Morocco. See the old Medina of Casablanca here. Make sure you visit the incredible Morocco Mall as well. The shopping here is absolutely incredible. Remember to barter here as well. Next, we're visiting the famous Rock of Gibraltar, part of the UK, of course, but hanging off the bottom of Spain, overlooking Spain and Morocco. The cheeky macaques up there on the top of the rock, which is lovely, or you can take a dolphin safari, which is fun. Then we have a day at sea, and we're across to Spain, into Valencia first. You can do a port and winery tour from here. It's the 3rd largest city in Spain, so there's lots going on. Wonderful old city centre there as well, very charming going through the old gates. Into Barcelona, which needs no introduction. Walk the Las Ramblas into the city, enjoy the fabulous atmosphere. Take a guided tour maybe of some of the sites like the Sagrada Familia. And the Park Güell as well, which is very, very nice indeed. Lots of tours here. Then we go into Mallorca. Now, you port here in Palma, which is the biggest city here. Massive cathedral, as you see there in the top picture. You can visit the Spanish village, and there's the Belva Castle, which is very nice too. Next, into Cartagena in Spain. Now you can head to Elche here and see the Moorish architecture and the exotic bazaars. Of course, in the city itself has the wonderful Andalusia horse ranch and the very famous Roman theatre as well. Next, we are back to Morocco. This time it is Tangier, where you can wander the narrow streets of the Casbah. Fascinating place to wander and shop for the very exotic. Maybe wander into the caves of Hercules. Back into Spain, into Seville now. Cadiz is the port here. You can visit the cathedral in Seville itself, or head on to an authentic sherry bodega, a winery, and do some tasting there, which is very nice in this part of the world. Next, we're in Portugal, to the capital Lisbon, famous for its St George's Castle, the amazing shopping, and there's a cable car over the Expo Park for the very, very best views. It's a wonderful city, and there is so much to do there. You will really enjoy this day. A day at sea, and we're back into Spain, into Bilbao this time though. Visit the very famous Guggenheim Museum, of course, be a bit of a culture vulture, but there's lots more to see around this part of the world as well, like the Bilbao Old Quarter. We're off into La France next, Le Verdon in the Bordeaux region of France. Famous for the wines, of course, here. Take a tour to a chateau, maybe, in the French hills and countryside would be very nice. Lovely part of the year to do it as well. A day at sea, and then we're in Ireland. Beautiful Ireland in Cork. Lots of choices here. The castle itself, St Finbarr's, or you can go and kiss the stone at the famous Blarney Castle. From Ireland, a day at sea over to Scotland, to Glasgow. Wonderful, wonderful, with the accent everywhere around you. You can take tours to Edinburgh from here, or maybe go and tour the very famous Loch Lomond and see the views and take lots of pictures. From Scotland, we head south to Liverpool, where you can see the iconic Cunard building, of course, visit the football stadiums, or the world-famous Cavern Club, where the Beatles played, or go to the Beatles story in the Albert Dock itself. It's very, very lovely city. A day at sea, and then we disembark in Dover, which is in the south of the UK. We've got a private transfer for you into London, and you've got a 3-night hotel stay in London. Now, as part of your 3 nights there, we're including a full-day tour to both of the headline royal palaces in London. So Buckingham Palace, where you'll get to see the ballroom, the throne room, and take a walk through the South Garden. And then also in that same day, we'll head just outside to London to Windsor Castle, where you can tour the state apartments, St George's Chapel, where the current King and Queen Consort were married, of course. And you can visit Queen Mary's Doll's House as well as part of the attraction. You'll love London. It's very, very easy to navigate and get around. You've got the tube system, of course, wonderful theatres, go to the Houses of Parliament. Just go crazy in London. You'll have an amazing time. We'll have a private transfer back to the airport in London, then premium lounge access for you in the airport in London before you then fly back to Sydney. So just drink in all of these amazing destinations. Remember, this is a full half world cruise starting right here in Sydney, around Australia to Mauritius, South Africa, around Africa itself to the Canary Islands, and then through Spain, Morocco, Portugal, France, and then around the British Isles to Ireland, Scotland, to the west of the UK in Liverpool, and then finally down to the south coast in Dover, where we transfer you up to London for a 3-night hotel stay there, and then transfer you to the airport in London or just outside London to fly back to Sydney. This is the most incredible opportunity for you, of course, to go on a very different journey. I mean, a world cruise, the full world cruise, by the way, is way beyond the 56 nights we're doing in this package. It's 114 nights, Sydney to Sydney, starting in June and coming back in September. If you fancy that, call the team 1300 408 765. But this is wonderful. This is half of that world cruise, starting, as we mentioned, here in Sydney on the amazing Crown Princess. 56 fabulous nights. While you're on board your cruise as well, your drinks are included. It's a premium drinks package, so drinks up to $15 each included. Your service charges, gratuities, tips included. Wi-Fi included. Early and speedy boarding included. Room service all the way through your cruise. Extra dining as part of it. And you are going to love it. And there's lots more extras to that as well that we'll go into in just a second. Remember, we're sailing from Oz through to Mauritius, through South Africa, around Africa, the Canary Islands, the Mediterranean, the British Isles, ending in Dover, transferring up to London for your 3-night hotel stay, transferring you back to the airport in London, and of course then your flight back to Sydney. This is an amazing opportunity. An amazing opportunity. And your deposit today is just $1,000 each for a limited time. If you want to get this in the diary right now, $1,000 each deposit. Now, how much do you think the total price will be? 56 nights of cruising, the 3-night hotel stay in London, and the flight back to Sydney. What are you thinking? Give me a guess. Let me show you. Because I don't think it's as much as you think it will be. That's an incredible price tag. And think of all the places that you have seen on that. Now, if this is the first 56 nights of the world cruise and the total world cruise Sydney to Sydney round trip is 114 nights, I'd be interested to give the team a call on 1300 408 765 and say, how much is the whole thing? How much would it be to do the whole thing? Let's have a look at the details if you want to upgrade on board Crown Princess. This is based on an interior stateroom. But if you want to do ocean view, balcony, suite, sweet experience for a half world cruise, how incredible would that be? You've got all the prices there, and any other questions you've got, all you need to do is call our team 1300 408 765. Now, we've got Princess Plus included in this cruise. So again, let me just show you what that means in terms of your day-to-day of being on the cruise, because there are lots of sea days on this itinerary. So know that you've got a full plus drinks package. So that's drinks up to $15 each, full unlimited Wi-Fi. You've got your service charges, you've got an unlimited juice bar which is there for you all the way through the cruise. They've just introduced something called premium desserts, which are beautiful. Normally they're an upcharge. They're included in your Princess Plus. Fitness classes are included. Extra casual dining venues that are now chargeable are now included for you as part of Princess Plus. Ocean Now delivery is where you wear a little medallion coin when you're on board the ship and you use the app to order food and drinks. An Ocean Now delivers those to the very spot you are on the ship. Normally that has a delivery charge. It's included with Princess Plus. Room service normally has a charge every time you take advantage of it. With Princess Plus, it's included. And you board earlier than everybody else as well, which is incredible. All part of your cruise experience. So this is all inclusive. You could almost get out or get on this ship without a cent or a dollar in your pocket, and you'd have the most incredible experience. Now, there is just time to run through the whole thing again, because I think it's worth it, to be honest with you, because most of it I've forgotten. Where were we going and where did we go? Let's have a look, shall we? So 4th of June next year, Crown Princess, we join her in Sydney, and the cruise itself is 56 incredible nights. You're going to love every single one of them as well, because I've also mentioned, and I will mention again as we run through where we go, just how many sea days there are on this itinerary, because that's important. And I'll tell you why. Your sea days are really important because you haven't got the pressure of missing out on a port, so you're not making one choice over the other. 2, it gives you some time to really switch off and relax. Listen, if you like to be on the go, there's the gym, there's the running track, there's various physical activities that you can be doing on the ship. But if you want to finally get those books read that you've been meaning to read for years and years and years, they've been sat on the bookshelf, I can see them, you've actually got time to do that. You've got time to enjoy wonderful experiences like movies under the stars, which is a lovely thing to do. It also means that you can have some late naughty nights as well. It means also that you can have a night where you say, you know what, I'm not going to get out of bed until 2 in the afternoon. And then I might come back to bed at 5 for another siesta and have a big night. Do the theatre, do a fabulous dining experience, go and see another show somewhere else, some live entertainment, go and see some comedy, something like that, and then go to the nightclub and boogie the night away, not worrying that if you get up late the following day that you've missed out on something, because you haven't. Because that's all part of the fun of a cruise. And there's also, remember, this is the first half of a world cruise, so quite apart from where you're going and everything else, think of the fascinating people that you are going to meet on this cruise. Think of those people who, I mean, there may be people on this cruise that have never taken a cruise before and have gone straight for the world cruise sector option. That would be amazing. That could be a very long honeymoon, couldn't it? That would be very nice. Do you think you could cope with that? 2 months as a honeymoon? That'd be a really, really lovely way to start married life, actually, wouldn't it? Maybe for you, it's going to be a second honeymoon or a third or a fourth or a fifth or, any excuse to go and cruise the world. It's amazing. And being on board a cruise ship, you can understand now why people, in their retirement are swapping going into a care home to being on world cruises and living on cruise ships. You can completely understand why. Here's where we're going. Of course, we started in Sydney. So our first port is over in Adelaide. And more importantly, our first couple of days are at sea before we get to Adelaide as well. Beautiful part of the world, as we know it well. It's on our doorstep. And then we go up to Fremantle for Perth, of course. And that's 3 days at sea between those two as well. So more time to get to know the ship and really kind of get down to the cruising pace of life, because that's very, very important. We've got 7 days at sea across the Indian Ocean over to Port Louis in Mauritius. Now, if you can get to the Pamplemousses Botanical Garden, it is well worth seeing. It is absolutely beautiful. There's so many experiences you can have here. 5 days next at sea, heading southwest over to South Africa. And we spend 2 days here, which I think is brilliant. It has an overnight. So you arrive on the first day, stay the whole of that night, and then you won't leave until the following evening. So if you want to go and take a safari experience, go up Table Mountain, do both of those things, you've got plenty of time to do it. Then we go around Africa to Walvis Bay. And this is, again, another fantastic part of the world, and one that not many people get to see. I mean, look at that Moon Valley landscape. That looks pretty special, doesn't it? There'll be tours along the way on all of these places you're going to. You've got 7 days at sea before we arrive in Cape Verde, and this is the most beautiful, unspoilt part of the world. Cape Verde and the islands here are just beautiful. Couple of days at sea, and then we are in the Canary Islands in Gran Canaria. Now, Gran Canaria is wonderful. All of these Canary Islands are volcanic, so they've got the most fantastic landscapes. Las Palmas is fabulous for just shopping and wandering. Then we head over to Morocco. Now, this is going to be a real highlight on this cruise in Casablanca. You could go, of course, and rock the Casbah here, go into the central market, just wander and see how very different it is to everywhere you've been before. Gibraltar, the Rock of Gibraltar, a wonderful place. You can go shopping all the way down Main Street, or just sit down in Ocean Village and have a nice cocktail and just look at all the yachts. It's very nice indeed. Next we go to Valencia in Spain. Again, very much wine country here, but they also make the famous Ladro horses here. You could go to the factory where they're handcrafted and made there. There are lots, as I mentioned before, of tour opportunities. Barcelona is a place to just go and wander, go and discover Barcelona. It's a wonderful, wonderful city. Yes, go and see the sights, take the hop-on, hop-off bus tour. There's so much that you can enjoy. Then we're into Palma de Mallorca, into a part of the world which is, again, just idyllic. That massive cathedral and lots of tour opportunities. The Plaza Mayor itself is very, very impressive indeed. Next, we're in Cartagena in Spain. Now, this is a very historic part of Spain, actually, down in Andalusia. You've got the famous horse ranch there, you've got the Punich Wall, and the Roman theatre as well. You see the size of these theatres, they are huge from Roman times. Back into Morocco, into Tangier now. Very, very narrow streets here to just go and wander, go and do the shopping. This is the kind of place to go and buy the unusual bits and pieces as souvenirs from your half-world cruise. Cadiz is next, and that, of course, a lot of people head into Seville. There'll be tours to the Alcazar. You can take a wonderful river cruise in Seville as well, which is a very, very nice thing to do. It'll be a lovely time of the year. Lots of nice hot sunshine there. This is a really walkable city as well, Lisbon, but you can take the old-fashioned trams around the city. You can go down the coast to Cascais on the train. You can go up to Sintra and see the Royal Palace and the gargoyles and the castle there. It's really lovely. Next, we head to Bilbao. Most people head into the Guggenheim Museum. It's what Bilbao is absolutely famous for. And it's a fascinating day out, let me tell you. But again, very, very wanderable, as lots of the places in Spain are. Next, into France. Now, I would definitely urge you in France to take a wine tour. It's definitely worth doing. Some of the best wines in the world hail from this region. So definitely think about a tour in this part of the world. Over to gorgeous Ireland. Ireland just has an atmosphere of its own. The wonderful people, the wonderful warm welcome, and that lovely Irish lilt in the accent that you hear just everywhere. Kiss the Blarney Stone if you get the chance. Next, up to Scotland. Again, another accent for you to take in here up in Scotland. This is one of the ports for Glasgow in the west of Scotland. But again, on the doorstep there, Loch Lomond and the beautiful highlands and countryside of Scotland itself. It's beautiful. Then you're in Liverpool, a wonderful place to be. Really important, of course, in the world of cruising as a city. Famous for the Beatles, of course. Lots of big sights and attractions to see in Liverpool. Even if you've been, it's changed a lot over the last few years. We disembark Crown Princess down in the south of the UK in Dover. We've got a private transfer for you up into London for a 3-night hotel stay. And as part of that stay, we're including a full day tour, which takes in both Buckingham Palace and Windsor Castle. So the two key royal houses in London. Windsor's just outside London, but Windsor's a wonderful place to be as well. But in London City itself, you've got all the big sights and sounds. Just wander down the River Thames and take in the South Bank, St Paul's Cathedral, the unusual buildings like the Gherkin that you just saw there. Head high up to the Shard and see the view from there. Of course, there's Tower Bridge, and there are many bridges up and down the Thames. Take in, of course, the wonderful ancient Palace of Westminster, the Houses of Parliament, of course. You'll just love it. You'll absolutely love it. At the end of your stay in London, another private transfer there to take you from the centre of London out to Heathrow Airport for the flight back. And even before the flight, you'll enjoy some premium lounge access as part of your trip before you fly them back to Sydney. Now, again, just drink in everything you're doing here. the most incredible half-world experience, starting right here in Sydney on the Crown Princess. 56 nights of cruising, including your drinks, tips, Wi-Fi, early boarding, room service, extra dining, and so much more. And you're sailing from Oz to Mauritius, through South Africa, the Canary Islands, the Mediterranean, and the British Isles, ending in Dover in the UK, where we transfer you up to London for a 3-night hotel stay, including the full day tour of Buckingham Palace and Windsor Castle. And after your stay in London, the transfer back to the airport, premium lounge access in the airport, before you then fly back to Sydney. My word, it's amazing. Your deposit today on this is just $1,000 each. And it's all inclusive, which is great, which means it includes so much at this price here. And again, I'll just say for you, this is 56 nights, so it's the first half of the world cruise, but you can do the full world cruise as well, Sydney to Sydney, over 114 nights, starting on the same date, 4th of June, and then coming back towards the end of September. And if you want the price for the full world cruise, talk to the team, because you know what, a world cruise, should I say, lands in your lap at the right time. I can't say to everyone watching this right now, let's go cruise the world, everyone. It doesn't happen. Very few people take world cruises, and it has to come to you at the right time. Maybe you've just said, that's it to the world of work. Goodbye. I'm done. Maybe it's a significant anniversary. Maybe you've just been leading up to this moment for many, many years, and now it is time to do the world cruise experience. I can't tell you the right time. What I can do is show you an amazing opportunity, because this is 2 months away. Your cruise is fully all-inclusive, and it's way beyond all-inclusive as well. It's not just drinks, it's Wi-Fi, it's tips, it's boarding early, it's having food and drink delivered to wherever you are on the ship, whenever you want to. And all of this can be booked right now, today, with our team here at CruiseAway, with a deposit of just $1,000 each. How seriously are you thinking about this? How ready to travel the real world are you right now? You might have questions. You might want to tailor the package further. Our team are there. It's a toll-free call, 1300 408 765. It's very, very easy to change or tailor any aspect of this holiday. Maybe you want to take this part of the world cruise and then do something on the way back from the UK. You want to go somewhere else. You want to go from London to New York before you come home. Lots of different things that you can do. But remember, we start with a conversation on 1300 408 765. I'm going to leave that with you as food for thought. All of our shows are on our YouTube channel, of course, if you want to check them out there. And we're back here on Gecko every day, 10 in the morning and 1 and 4 in the afternoon. So until we cruise away again, take care.